Hi people, how you doing? Welcome to day 30, the last day of this live stream event. Oh my god, this has gone so freaking fast. It's been amazing. I have had such a good time doing this. I have learned a lot about myself doing this live stream event. So I hope you've had a great time too. In saying that, let's get straight into what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to answer a question that someone sent in, and then I'm also going to do a couple of Q&As that were sent in as well. So the question was, if I can remember it, it's how to feel abundant when your bank account is saying otherwise, basically, which I know all of us can relate. At some point in our lives, we will have felt this. So I have a story on how to do this, but it's not exactly related to money. But like, we all have those moments. We all have that. I guess it's like a fork in the road where you're like, this is what is happening right now. I do not feel abundant. There is not a lot of money in my bank account. Hell, there might not be any money in my bank account. There might not be any money coming in. This is what's happening right now. And I can choose either to go down this path A, and keep feeling the same way, keep looking at what is happening right now, and keep feeling those feelings, making it my reality as I move forward, right? Or I could take path B, and even though I've never been on this path before, even though it's kind of scary, and I don't know what's going to happen on it, I can take this path and choose to go down it and choose to start looking at it in a different way. Choose to look at my bank account, what is happening right now, and choose to tell a different story about it. And choose to tell a story that I want to tell about it, a story that I want to come real. And start feeling those feelings and start living in those feelings now and see what happens. And so that's where most of us wind up, except that most of us take path A, right? By autopilot, like automatically we take path A. We're just like, this is happening now. Oh my god, I don't know how to change it. And I'm gonna keep going down here and feeling and freaking out about it all. And we've done that many times, right? How's it worked out for us? Well, we've probably aged a lot from doing that. We've stressed out a lot, probably a lot of unnecessary stress, but we've probably exhausted ourselves a lot going down that path. That path sucks. We know that path, and it's not a path that we're not excited about going down. Are you excited about path A? I am not, and I know really you're not. So the only option left is path B. If you want to change what path A does, we're gonna go down path B. Sorry, right? Path B. So, in saying that, when you feel the feelings of, I don't feel abundant at all, there's nothing in my account, I am so bullshitting myself right now, you have to take stock of what is good in your life, what is working in your life, right? Because you've got to soothe yourself, because when you're in that heightened state of going straight to abundance is just going to be too much of a stretch for you. So you've got to work up, you've got to soothe yourself. And so the best example I can give you is this time quite a few years ago. It was like this freak day where kind of everything went wrong. I was in Bali and my best friend was over, and we had this massive fight that we'd never fought before, have never fought again, but it was just this massive fight, and I was so hurt by it, and I didn't really know how to react, so I just kind of shut down. Then that same night, I also found out that this guy I was seeing was messing around with me. Also that same night, I found out my ex, who I'd broken up with a few months ago, was in a relationship and had messaged me about something of concern. It was a personal matter, but which was just added on. It was even worse. I also got my first hater, not that day, it was the day before or 2 days before, but all of this happened at one time, most of it in one night, and if anyone had a reason to like have a meltdown, that would be a good reason. Like all of this stuff is happening, right? And I just remember thinking like almost being out of my body, because I was just like, this cannot be happening. Like this is too crazy for it to be happening. And I remember going back to my room and I was just like on the verge of like breaking down, like having a massive panic attack, anxiety attack, just freaking out about everything. And then I was like, okay, why not do something different right now? Instead of like freaking out, which you can do, absolutely, why don't we just find what is good right now? What's working right now? Let's like soothe this a little bit, because otherwise you might not come back from this. So all I could think of doing at the time was like looking around the room and thinking of things that were good. I was like, well, those curtains are nice. That TV's cool. Watched a cool show last night. The shower's pretty cool. I do like this bed's really comfy. This pillow's nice. The sheets are really, really nice too. I wonder if they sell them. I really did like going to the spa. And so like I just like really neutral things. Like I like that chair. That vase is kind of cool. Really neutral things just to help me get out of that like about to explode state, right? And doing that helped de-escalate a lot of how a lot of that frantic meltdown energy, and helped me actually come back to a decent state where I wasn't about to, I don't know what was going to happen, but it helped me neutralize how I felt and helped me come back to like a good state, so I could just like function for the next couple of days until my friend left, so that then I could have my meltdown, right? So that's one way to look at it. If what is happening right now is just like too much for you, if it's like this, it's slapping you in the face and you're like, I don't know how to feel abundant because there's no money in my account. There's like you feel like you're deceiving yourself. Your job is to soothe. Your job is to go down path B and talk about what is good. Get out your journal and write down the things that are good. Look around your room. What's good in your room? Look around your house. What's good there? What do you like about your house? What do you like about your room? What do you like about your family members, your parents, your friends, your lover, your partner? Just start talking about things that can help you get back to neutral, right? Get back to feeling more in the positive than the negative, right? And that's what moving up the scale is, right? Who talks about that? Abraham Hicks talks about like moving up the emotional guidance scale, I think that's what it's called. And you're just soothing yourself to move up there. And then as you do this over time, when you don't feel abundant, you actually help yourself get to, you train yourself to get to this neutral state and then slowly increase it, right? So just focus on what is good right now. Well, I love my books, and money afforded me those books, right? And I was able to afford them at the time, and that feels really good because I learned a lot from those books. What else? And then like you can move into like the things, rather than just general things, you can move, if it doesn't trigger you, you can move into monetary things, like what you're grateful for that money has bought you, excuse me. Yeah, so anything around you, anything in your room, like your laptop, your phone, your clothes, your jewelry, whatever it is, and then start feeling good about that stuff. And then try and move into a grateful energy. And obviously, once you're in your grateful energy, you are emitting a receptive frequency. You are in the energy of receiving. Therefore, path B reveals itself to you and it's far more abundant, right? So that's what you can do. You'd work yourself up to soothing yourself, and then get yourself, like, keep working up it to gratitude, where you feel gratitude about the things that are around you, and then that puts you in the energy of receiving, and so therefore you become abundant, right? Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, now I'm going to answer a couple of questions because I have a ton. I'm still going to answer them in future live streams, but it's just not going to be every day, right? My hair is not cooperating right now. Ugh, hair, man. All right, question, blah, blah, blah. Where was it? How do I turn my gifts into a viable business online? Wow, what are your gifts? And the only way to know is to explore and experience it for yourself and find out if that is something you want to do. So this is what I did when I started. I started blogging and I tried different niches that I was interested in. And I was gifted at like all of them, but some of them I just didn't like, right? I didn't like doing, I preferred them to be more of a hobby than, okay, so this is really annoying me. I preferred it to be more of a hobby than actually something I wanted to make money from. Some of them took a long time to, it took a long time to create content, and I was just like, this isn't realistic for me. So yeah, like trial and error, try different things, try what you like, try what you're good at, and you'll naturally find what you're good at and what you enjoy doing. So yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, another question. How do I raise my vibration and keep it raised, thus opening myself to abundance when surrounded by people who have lower vibrations? And how can I assist in raising their vibrations so we can all manifest wealth? Other people's vibrations or states aren't your responsibility. Like, you can influence, but you can't directly change, right? You can't make someone change. If they don't want to change, they don't want to change. What you need to do is keep your side of the street clean. Like, do your work, keep your vibe raised. Because what I found is when your vibe is truly raised, or when you're operating in the energy and frequency of what you want to be operating in, and you're in your wealth frequency, you're attracting what you want. Those people who have the lower vibrations don't actually bother you, right? And a lot of them, you'll vibe out of each other's reality. Like if you're not family or something, if you're not super close, you'll just naturally vibe out of each other's reality. But if they are family, you'll find that you, A, like their vibe doesn't affect you anymore, and B, you actually love them more unconditionally now. Like there's a lot of my family members who are probably, you would say, lower vibed, but I have such love and compassion for them because I can see where they're at. And so that's what a truly high vibe, I believe, is, right? Oh yeah, and so how do you raise your vibration? Just keep doing your work. Keep doing the vibrate. Keep feeling the feelings of it's here now. Keep going down path B, right? Keep living in the energy and frequency of I have the money now, the money is in my hand, the money has just come into my account, the sale notification has just popped up onto my phone, PayPal has just dinged me, Stripe has just dinged me, someone has handed me cash, all that stuff. Like living in that vibe now. Like I have it now. And then if you really want to like really work with it, but I find for some people this doesn't work. Imagine you're like 6 months down the track, right? And you've already manifested all of this stuff. All of this stuff is already in your reality now. Imagine how it feels 6 months down the track. You don't even really care about it. You're on to bigger and better things, right? Try that. Try those 2 exercises. Okay. How do you keep such a positive mindset when everything is going wrong and you feel like you're gonna fail? Exactly what I said in the first question is just focus on what is good. And maybe it is just your bedside table. Like maybe that's it. Maybe that's all you can focus on. Maybe it's the nails. Like maybe you got what do you call it? Manicure. Maybe you got a manicure. That's all you can focus on. Just anything. Because it's not the actual things that you're focusing on, but it's what you're doing to help yourself move your vibe up little by little, right? You're training yourself to do that. And the more that you do it, the more that it becomes natural. And then the more it becomes way easy to get out of the funk whenever you fall into it, right? How long does it take to manifest what you want? And does other people's negativity piss all over your hard work? I've once read, whatever you practice, you'll receive. So if I'm around negative people, i.e. my husband. Oof. Okay, so Oh, I have a few things to say on this. So what I've heard is that you can attract your opposite when it comes to like your money type, your money personality. Like it's common for people to attract their opposite. In terms of my past relationship, I think I would say that I did. We were different money types. But there's no like set timeline for how long it takes to manifest something. It is all up to you and the work that you're doing and the universe's timing, right? So as long as you're doing your work, you're doing your part in the process, which isn't doing the how, right? Hey Radley, hi, how you doing? As long as you're doing that, then it's up to the universe, right? And that's where you have to practice detaching and letting go. Because, oh, look at the hearts, thank you. And practice letting, wow, this is so distracting. And practice letting go so that you're detached from it, so that you can move about your day and allow the energy of it to come to you now. Like, allow it to come to you now. Because I find that when you get stuck on it, and we all do, we all get caught up in like, when's it coming? Like, I've been doing the work and being detached for ages and it's still not here, where is it? That's when the energy suddenly becomes like, you know, the opposite ends of the magnet, where like you flip it around and it's like you cannot push it together. Yeah, that's what you're doing. But once you're in your receptive vibes, once you're back in gratitude, once you're detached and you're off doing something else that you care about, you're back at, you flip the magnets around so they're like, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that crap explanation of that. Okay, so how to eradicate old money beliefs that are affecting my current monetary situation. So most of our beliefs all come from like one core belief that we attained over time, usually from our childhood, and then we just like sprouted all these other beliefs off it. If you haven't done the work yet, an important thing to do, I believe, is find out where that money story originates from, so that you know, you understand how you're working and like what you're thinking and how it all comes back to this origin belief. But once you know it, you don't really need to keep going back to it. You know it, like that's it. You don't need to keep uncovering it. You just work with the beliefs that keep coming up. And how you do that is telling a better story, working through anything that you're afraid of that makes you think that you don't deserve it, that you can't have what you want, that you can't have the money, that you can't have the finances, that you can't have the wealth, the income that you want. You work through all that shit. You write down your fears. You talk about how you're willing to see this differently, and you start telling a different story. You debunk all of those beliefs, those shitty beliefs that you have. You disprove them. You tell a better story about what you want them to be, and then you move into that vibe and the energy and sit and live in the energy of that frequency of having that money now, because you deserve it. You don't need a reason to deserve it other than the fact that you just want it. That's it. Right? Because it's your birthright. It's your birthright to have it. Okay. What is the smallest change you would advise people to make to improve their money mindset and increase their wealth over time? The smallest change I would say is to, it's kind of like practice gratitude. It would be practicing gratitude, but more importantly, it would be living in the vibe that you're supported, that you're taken care of. And from that, gratitude is just natural. But the reason I say gratitude is because it's a practical thing that you can do. Like, you can get out a notebook and then you can write the things that you're grateful for. Feeling supported is a different thing. Some people can do it and some people find it hard. But this is what I find works for me. I sit in visualization and meditation, and I think about how the universe supports me. I think about how the universe takes care of me. I think of how I am deeply financially nurtured and taken care of and provided for and loved by the universe, and how much that I am given, that the universe would never let anything happen to me that was bad. And whenever I'm feeling like freaking out about money or anything in my life, I always come back to the feeling of the universe has my back, is taking care of me, and nothing bad is going to happen. And some like miracles are only going to happen, right? And so I feel that in my heart. I feel like as if I'm being supported, literally supported by the universe. But if that is hard for you to do initially, gratitude then. Because gratitude is a practical exercise that you can do to help you get into the feelings of feeling grateful. Cool? Cool. One more. Most of these are like the same question. Okay, let me go up here. Yeah, most of these are the same question. What do you feel is the biggest struggle people have about money? What I honestly believe is that under the surface, people just don't believe that they deserve it, that they're worthy of it, and that they can have it. That's what it is. Like, even the people who say wanting money is greedy, wealth is like the devil, like, you know, like the people who say that it's more noble to be poor essentially than to be rich. It's just because, okay, I've been reading this book called How the Rich Think by Steve Siebold, and he talks about like the middle class, which is like most of us, right? And then the world class, which is like the wealthy people, and then there's like he talks about there are rich people who are dickheads, and they're the upper class, right? But the middle class and the world class, and the middle class, the reason that they are the way that they are, and the reason that most of them don't get out, is out of being a middle class, is because their beliefs are completely wired in the middle class mentality, right? And that's because they've grown up around with middle class parents, friends, family members, community members. So you've been influenced your whole life by people who have always been middle class citizens, right? And that might trigger some people. This is just what's in the book. And so in the book he talks about like the difference between how the middle class and the world class think. And with the world class, they know that there is like, it's all about your beliefs, it's all about how you think about money, it's all about knowing that ideas are what sells, right? And once you do this, and once you like get proof that it sells, like say you create a course or you write an ebook or you sell a coaching package or something like that, and it sells once, you start to like, that starts what would you call it, like creating the belief that it's possible for you and that you know how to do it. And so you get this confidence, which I noticed, and I think I talked about this like a few years ago. When it starts repeating, when you realize, oh shit, I can actually make money from this is like a thing, like you become more confident and you become more sure that this is a thing that you can do now. And so he talks about the world class know that ideas sell, and you never run out of ideas, so there's always more to sell, so that even if you lost all your money, you know that you can always get back to where you were, because you know how to maneuver that, how to manufacture it, because you know that it's ideas where you solve a problem, where you add value, is what sells. But the main crux of that is that you have very strong beliefs that power those actions, right? They power it, and you think that way. Middle class don't think that way. Middle class think that the best way for them to get more money is by getting a raise. And so in this book he talks like about the difference between the two, and how a lot of people, like how you can start to think like a world class. But honestly, most of us are doing that. We just gotta keep doing that, right? I fully lost track of what the hell I was talking about. What I feel is the struggle, the biggest struggle that people have about money. Yeah, and it's the believing that they're worth it. So that's what I would say to you. Change it. Work on those beliefs. Do the journal process, like I said. Write down everything you feel like you don't deserve, why you don't believe it can happen for you, why it's hard, why it's just not in the cards for you, and then disprove all those bullshit lies that you're telling yourself, okay? Disprove them. It's going to do so much good for you. And it's going to increase your bank account. And it's going to change your life and change your beliefs in the process. Because we don't want to be middle class anymore. It's been nice. But no, let's not be middle class. Okay? Alright. So I think that's it for me. I have family coming over now, so I better get off and go have a shower. Okay? So, thank you so much if you have been with me on this 30-day live stream event. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have any feedback on it or anything you want to share about it, be sure to pop it in the comment section below. I'm definitely going to be doing more live streams, just not every day. But yeah, I've had so much fun doing this. So thank you. And once again, if you felt like someone would get some good juju out of this live stream event, please share it with them. And other than that, I will see you again very, very soon. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, bye.